Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Um, I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves. Anyway, so today we're going to discuss um, monitoring spirits. Okay, and I'm sure if you've been following a lot of Chosen Ones videos, then you might have already heard of this topic. And I personally wasn't really familiar with monitoring spirits, and so when I first came across this topic and videos about it, and when I first read about it, it was very interesting to me, and it made a lot of sense too. And so, basically, in this video, we will discuss monitoring spirits, right? And what their whole purpose is, and what their mission is, and who they are, even, and who they can be, or what it can be, believe it or not. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a person. Believe it or not, it can also be an object. So monitoring spirits are everywhere, They can be watching my video right now, even. So it's true, and so monitoring spirits are they're like agents, or they're like the devil's agents. Just like God has his people, the devil has his people too. And so monitoring spirits are, agents of darkness. They're demons, basically. Okay, they're malevolent spirits that are, they have agreed consciously or, well, unconsciously to watch someone. And their whole purpose is to watch someone and to derail their progress, or and to derail their ability to move forward and to progress in their mission. In fact, they want to cause detours. They want to throw someone off their path. And they don't want someone to progress. They don't want for someone to step into their mission. They don't want for someone to step into their purpose and to continue progressing and thriving and, thriving. And I'm not just saying thriving in one way. I mean thriving financially, thriving physically, thriving spiritually, and basically in every way, right? So monitoring spirits are sent to watch and to spy basically on another individual and to report back to someone who has a higher spiritual ranking than them. And so that's the whole purpose, okay? And guys, just 2 weeks ago, okay, I was at home, okay, and my blinds were closed, right? My drapes were closed, and I don't know why, but I had a feeling to come up to my window, right, and just to look outside. And I guess I don't know why, it was very strange, right? So I came up to my window and I looked outside, and at that moment I saw a strange man, okay, and the strange man, he was looking into, he was standing, like, I have a balcony, right? And he was standing right outside my balcony, like on the edge of it, right? Like on the side. And he had sunglasses on. And he was looking into my balcony. And at first I thought I was mistaken. I'm like, what is going on? Because I'm really skeptical of these things. I've never been like paranoid or, thinking that someone is like after me, or, to me that's, I don't know. there's also this term, maybe you have heard of it too. It's called gang stalking, right? And so I will discuss this in my other video too, about this gang stalking, and I will tell you really crazy story, okay, about that. But you know, yeah. So actually, gang stalking is part of monitoring spirits and everything that they're doing, right? So it actually it relates, you know, so it's related. But yeah, so anyways, back to this guy, right? And so I'm standing there and I'm like, actually is he looking into my balcony, you know? And then not only that, but he actually started he actually tried to look into our window, okay, and he was just standing there like this, like literally, you know. And I was like, huh, like, you know, I was extremely surprised and a little bit creeped out too, okay, because I didn't, first of all, I didn't expect that, you know. As you guys know, it's such an invasion of privacy, right? And then of course I was a bit freaked out because I was thinking, like, here I am, I have a child, right? And who is this guy? Like, the guy was like in his 30s maybe, you know, and just I don't know, right? Like, he could be anyone, right? So it was creepy. After that, you know, I was like a bit disturbed because he was literally just standing there outside, trying to look into, at first looking into a balcony and then into our window. Okay, and so yeah, the guy could have been a monitoring spirit. Okay, I have no idea who he was, right? But not only that, guys, but the previous week I also had another guy. Okay, who the other guy we spoke to, and he, once again, he also just showed up at our balcony. Um, you know, he brought us something, right? He brought us like a honeydew, you know, and I was really surprised because I didn't know who the guy was, right? And you know, and so of course I thanked him, you know, and I didn't know what to say. But then after that, he kept on coming back to our balcony, and eventually I told him, listen, I'm very sorry, you know, I'm not interested, you know. And I just he started inviting us somewhere, you know, to go out somewhere, and he was like, hey, you know, do you want to go out to a restaurant, right? And I said, you know, no, thank you, I don't, you know. And so um, he left, and that's it, right? But, or so I thought. But then he, at night, right, I was sitting on my balcony, and I was reading something, right? And so suddenly I have a feeling that someone is watching me, you know? So, and then I look up, and guess who it was? It was the same guy, literally standing in the darkness right next to the balcony, just trying to look into the window. I don't think he saw me maybe on the balcony because it was dark. And also, when I saw him, I freaked out. Like, I almost jumped up because I didn't expect him to be there, you know, trying to see, look into the windows. Even though I, of course, because of this, I close my drapes, I close my blinds, right? So it's extremely creepy, guys. Okay, so once again, he could have been a monitoring spirit too, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because, well, the guy gave me really bad vibes. You know, he was he smelled like, also he was drunk, you know, or was drinking, and I just didn't, you know, I sensed that it was someone that we should definitely be staying away from, you know. And so it was, yeah. And so yeah, the reason why I told you guys the story, right, is because, once again, um, you know, monitoring spirits, right? They can be anyone. They can basically, in most cases, anyone can be used. It can be your own family, okay, and it can be strangers. It can be acquaintances. But usually, monitoring spirits are going to be really, really nosy, right? And so they're going to try to get into your business. They're going to ask you a lot of different questions, like about your whereabouts, right? It can be family too, okay? And if you are on the right path, they're going to try to derail you. They're going to try to, you know, for example, tell you, maybe you're supposed to be somewhere, right, where maybe you will receive your blessings, maybe something good is going to happen, maybe you're going to meet your soulmate, maybe, you know, um, basically they're going to try to create detours so you never get to your blessings, so you know, or at least so your blessings are delayed, or so that meeting with your soulmate perhaps is delayed. They're going to try to create detours. They're going to try to cause delay in your in those, on all of those things. Okay, they're going to try to you know, cause you to lose out on opportunities perhaps. Okay, and so there are many ways they can do this. They can come into your life and just, let's just say, maybe you told them about your plans, right? Mm. Green and jasmine tea. Yeah, so anyway, so they're going to um, they might come into your life, right? And if you tell them about your plans, then they're going to try to distract you, or they're going to say, no, no, you know, I don't think you should be going there, or, you know, this is wrong, right? Or there might be something wrong. Basically, they'll try to talk you out of a situation, okay? And so that's why don't ever trust just anyone, okay? Always do your own feeling, always trust your own intuition. Listen to trust your own intuition. Don't listen to anyone. Don't take anyone's advice unless you know you're you know, very confident in that specific person. Okay, so because yeah, and that's why, you know, as at this time, I believe the chosen ones, God's people, are becoming very powerful. They're very, very powerful. They're free, most importantly, right? And they have learned to also just learn. They have learned to just go within to seek answers, especially when it comes to their own life, and to not listen to anyone, right? Because once again, I'm not saying everyone is going to be a monitoring spirit, but some will be, and they're going to try to destroy you. They're going to try to take you away from your purpose, from your destiny, from your blessings, from everything that is good, basically. Okay, so some monitoring spirits might even you know, they might try to, you know, spread gossip and things like that. Okay, they might try to you know, spread rumors. Okay, and damage your reputation behind your back. And the reason being is because they know that if they do this, right, then this might cause you to lose on a lot of opportunities as well, right? And so you don't want to, that's why you don't want to talk too much, especially to the wrong people, especially to the people who are nosy, right? And they want to know everything about you and everything that you're doing, right? And because there will be some people that are like this, right? And all they're going to do is they're going to, you know, they don't care about sharing and connecting on a deep level. They just care about the gossip, right? They care about they're going to basically take this information that you're giving them, and they're going to use it against you somehow, okay, in some way. Once again, their whole purpose is to destroy you, to cause confusion, to and to cause you to lose out on opportunities, right? Because you know, let's just say they talk bad about you, right, to other people. Other people, maybe, let's just say they have, I don't know, businesses, right? And then they hear this information about you, and then suddenly the you know, maybe they wanted to work with you, or maybe they wanted to present you with an opportunity, right? Well, guess what's gonna happen now? Now that, you know, some people, you know, there are a lot of people who they believe the things that they're hearing. They believe everything that they're hearing, right? And so they don't question anything. They just accept things as they are, right? Even if they're false. So maybe perhaps that business owner was one of those people, right? So bam, right? You just lost an opportunity because of some false rumors, right? And so, yeah, Yes, be careful with monitoring spirits, okay? Don't, once again, the key to protect yourself, of course, you can spiritually protect yourself, but also you can physically protect yourself, and that means keeping your mouth closed, right? And even good, if good things happen to you, don't say anything, okay? Bad things are happening, don't say anything, right? Their whole thing is to they want to know how you're feeling, okay? They want to get inside your head, basically, okay? They want to, um, you know, they want to know what you're going to build, maybe, right? If you want to start a business, they want to know what kind of a business. They want to know everything that has to do with, your finances, your emotions, right? How you're feeling, whether you're depressed, whether you're anxious, or even happy, right? And um, they want you to experience anxiety. They want you to experience depression. They want you to be in a very bad state of mind. They're demons, right? So they're like their whole purpose is to get you to lose yourself. They want you to be lost in the darkness, in depression, and not thriving. So you don't step into your purpose and therefore your light, and uh, guide others towards their own, right? Towards their own light. Okay, so anyways, guys, who can these people be? Believe it or not, it's not just people, okay? It can also be objects. I've had this happen to me in a couple of different places, guys, okay? Uh, it can be in objects too, okay? So monitoring spirits can be objects too. I believe they're kind of like cursed objects, okay? And they're strategically placed in your new house, for example. You might move in, okay? So before moving into any place, okay, make sure you check. Make sure you check if there are any objects that don't feel well. Your intuition actually will guide you to them if you have a strong intuition. Believe it or not, guys, I've had this happen to me in several different places. And these objects were actually very obvious for the most part, okay? So one of them was, a shot. One of them was a shot with the devil on it. Talk about like being clear, right? It was as clear as day that it was a demonic object, right? But although sometimes it isn't as clear, so listen to your intuition. If your intuition is telling you that some kind of an object shouldn't be there and you should get rid of it, just listen to it. It's your spirit telling you, or your intuition, right? Telling you like, hey, this is the demonic object, get rid of it. This is a monitoring spirit, right? Um, Also, right, some other objects can be things like paintings, okay, brooms, what else? Tarot cards, okay? Um, and yeah, and also let's get back to animals, right? Animals can also be monitoring spirits, okay? I believe in this place we had a cat that was a monitoring spirit, okay? I loved all the cats, okay, besides this one. My son, of course, he liked this one, but she had extremely evil eyes, okay, guys, and I just did not like her, okay, and my intuition told me to not let her into our house, okay, but of course I didn't listen, right? Um, I still fed her, but still she lived next to us, right? She had a home. Eventually, I decided just to stop feeding her and just to not let her into our house anymore. She was different, okay, and I sensed something was different about her, okay. So perhaps she was a monitoring spirit, okay. So cats, dogs can be monitoring spirits. Um, Birds can be monitoring spirits. Of course, as you guys know, flies are huge too in the demonic realm, especially. They can be used to spy on you and to cause a lot of different things. They can be used even to cause anxiety, to steal information, right? And things like that. I watched an interesting video on that. It was too long. I'm not gonna go into it, right? But flies are also a big problem. You guys, like during the summer, like we had so many flies here. It was crazy. I would spray the house, they would just come back. I would spray the house again, they would come back. Right now, everything seems to be really clean and clear, you know. So uh, let's see if that lasts, you know. But yeah, anyways, and you know, they can even be monitoring spirits also can be in bees, lizards, and so on. Pretty much any animal, you know. And so once again, your intuition will tell you if there's an object that you should get rid of. You should just simply listen, right? Pay attention. Like I said, it's important to clear out your house, right? If you're moving into a new place, make sure it's clean. Make sure there isn't anything that's not supposed to be there, you know. And yeah, it's just good practice also to, you know, to just clean your house, right, before you move into it. Um, yeah, and so I think that's it. I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos.